Mustafa, and today we're gonna read the Magic Curious Merlin Mission Book 23, High Time for Heroes, and today we're gonna start reading at chapter 5, Bailey of Queens, and Deanna reading at chapter 6, and now are you ready for read this one book with a lot of stories? And now here we go. And first you can read is the Magic Curious Merlin Mission Book 23, High Time for Heroes, Chapter 5, Bailey of the Queens. Miss Nightingale, your donkey, Ale called out. A small boy stood on the donkey and the larger pack horse. How lovely to see you, Ale, said Falance. Mustafa stepped into the shallow water and pulled the rowboat onto the bank. He then helped everyone out of the boat. Jack and Annie stood with Cuckoo and watched Polance mount the donkey. Mustafa had climbed onto his pack horse. Jack felt helpless. He didn't know how to stop Polance from leaving them. Have a nice afternoon, said Annie. Polance looked back at them. I hope you have a nice afternoon too, she said. I would ask you to join me, but I'm afraid I'm a bit too quiet soul-eyed right now. We understand, said Annie. Thank you, said Falance. She turned back to the guide. Lead the way, Mustafa. Mustafa and his horse have headed away from the river. Falance flowered on her donkey. Jack and Annie Cuckoo watched headed up the dirt road and distance of mountains. Soon they disappeared from the view. Darn, breathed Annie. Yeah, said Jack. Donkeys for you too, Ale said, coming up behind them. You can travel to the ruins without a guide, you know, said Annie. Look at Jack. Want to? She said. How do we get to the Bailey of the Queens? Jack said in the Ale. Very easy, the boy pointed to the road. Travel the same way they went, he said. Follow that road, never turn. That sounds simple, said Annie. Let's go. Wait, said Jack. He took all over to the Egyptian coins from the pouch and joined them to Ale. Do we have enough rent 2 donkeys? Oh, yes. Ale took only 1 coin. Good for 2 donkeys all afternoon, he said. Okay, we'll do it, said Jack. Yay, said Annie. Good. I will get them for you, said Ale. He handed to the donkey standing under the trees. I wonder if there's anything we know to do about riding donkeys, said Annie. He opened their traveler's handbook again and looked up the donkey and read aloud. Donkeys are first trained carriage travelers over 6,000 years ago in Egypt. The animals are easy to ride, but the traveler must approach them slowly and treat them in kindness that affection. Easy, said Annie. That's the way I've always treated animals. Hee-haw, they're here, said Ale, leading 2 donkeys through Jack and Annie. Both donkeys were sandy brown with the sweet faces, and sandy fur blankets made heavy cloth. The long furry ears have twitched to keep the flies away. Hello there, said Annie on the one donkeys. Do you have your ears like a rabbit? Can I call you Bunny? Oh, bother, said Jack. Talk to yours too, said Annie, coach Jack. Call her sweet name, kindness to affection, remember? Jack rolled his eyes and scratched the ear of a donkey. Hi, I'm Honey. I want to go for a ride, he said. The donkey nosed her head against Jack's head. I'll laugh. I think Donkey like it very much, he said. Holding Cuckoo, Annie had climbed into the back of their pony, while Jack had climbed on Honey. You must take a water, said Ale. He tied tin cannons to the donkey saddies. Come back on the side down. Danger heals after dark. Like what kind of danger, said Jack. Wild jackals, Tomb Raiders, said Annie. Oh, said Ale. Got it, said Jack. We'll be back before dark, said Annie. Way before dark, said Jack. Goodbye, Ale. Thank you, said Annie. Giddy up, Bunny. She led the way to the Cuckoo on her shoulder. Follow them, Honey, please, said Jack. The two donkeys left the road that Mustafa and the Falans had traveled. Our donkeys remind me the camels we rode to baggage. Jack, Annie asked back to Jack. Remember Beauty and Cutie? Oh, brother, said Jack. The camels have nearly ruined their mission. Bunny and Honey have rode the past cornfields, palm trees, sheep, goats, mud huts, and the children playing in the dirt. When the children saw Jack and Annie, they laughed and pointed to the baboon, riding on Annie's shoulders. Soon as the dark road opened to the wider, lower road that crossed to the flat plain. The plain was bordered by the sand-colored mountains. The hot breezes blew clouds and dust as the donkeys clumped by the side to side to have a plan. Broken commons have a trunk of an ancient walls, half of it burned in sand. Look, said Annie. The two gigantic statues have loomed against the blue sky, enormous furrows of thorns, as the tall little 5-story buildings. Let's stop for a minute, said Jack. He pulled on Donkey's reins and took out the travelers and a handbook. He found a picture that the statues and read aloud. More than 1,000 years ago, the closet of a Merlin once guarded the temple of Merlin, and the money means of a ruler of the dawn, and the ancient Egyptians, I believe, out of the giant statue, sang every day at the sunrise. Jack stood his notebook and a pencil and wrote, Merlin, ruler of the dawn. He looked at the ruins again, and the photos have a stamp of a vanished in the time. The statues were places of their bodies broken with the worn away by the thousands of years and million sands, and the wounded giant was still in the amazingly powerful grove. Through the dry heads, Jack could imagine their ancient song. Hee-haw, Jack jumped. What's that? A donkey up ahead somewhere, said Annie. Past through the humble ruins. I bet there the donkey is starting walking again. And Annie, we found the Fallons trying to get surprised again. So she won't think we're following her. Be good. Don't worry, I'm always cool, said Annie. But we'll have to find a way to seek the secret of greatness. Yeah, said Jack sighed. Only one problem. I'm having trouble seeing that makes her so great. He said he thought the Fallons seemed unhappy, unfriendly. But she's great, said Annie. I know she is. Jack and Annie have keep riding their donkeys through the heat and dust. They have stepped into the ruins of an ancient temple, and there are no sign of the Fallons or Mustafa along the broken comings of crumbling walls. And there are no signs of any living things. I don't see them, said Jack. We must have lost them somewhere, she shivered, despite of a heat. The quiet felt spooky to him. He grabbed his canteen for a long drink of water. Annie did the same. She had poured a little bit of water into the cup and hand over to Cuckoo. Do you think we should keep going to the belly of a queen, said Annie. I guess so, said Jack. Fallons and Mustafa are probably already there, said Annie. Giddy up, Bunny. And as the donkeys walked through the cliffs, Jack couldn't shake an uneasy feeling. Everything was the color of mud and sand. Only the other living creatures or some visitors of circling in the sky. As Jack and Annie stared up the birds, Annie brought the donkeys to the gate. Oh wow, those must be the thumbs of a pair of wives, said Annie. She pointed to the several huge square holes carved into the limestone walls to the cliffs. Said Jack Trottle. You know, I think I like to go back. This place gives me creeps. Are you afraid of ghosts? Said Annie. Jack shook his head. I don't know. Maybe. Let's just go, he said. We can make for Fallons back in the Charlie Sandler's boat. Don't you last want to peek inside at the one of the domes? Said Annie. Nope, said Jack. Well, okay, you don't have to, said Annie. But if I don't take a look, I'll always wonder that I missed. Cuckoo, and I'll be right back. No, Annie, let's leave this place, said Jack. Just for a teeny minute, said Annie, holding to the baby bamboo. She climbed up to the donkey. Well, just take a quick look in that one. She pointed to the nearest stump, cut into the mountain. I promise we won't go inside. We'll hurry back. With Cuckoo sitting in the shoulder, Annie took off towards the stump. Jack's donkey shook her head and kicked her hind legs. What's wrong, honey? Said Jack. Annie's donkey started acting strangely too. She brayed loudly and turned away from the cliffs. Calm down, Bunny, said Jack, trying to speak in the smoothing voice. It's okay. Something was clearly both donkeys. Jack's donkeys have tried to turn around. Annie's donkey began to drawing back when they come. Wait, Bunny! Jack called to Annie's donkey speed away. Annie! He shouted. Come back now! Bunny's running off! Jack was standing at the entrance of a pond. She turned it around. What? She said. Cuckoo let a bone-chilling shark. From big gray wolf-like animals. The two creatures looked at Annie and then leaped on their direction. Oh man, said Jack. Jackals. Oh, the ale said to be careful, the dangerous jackals, but they've got the jackals. Oh no, they need to figure it out later, but tomorrow I'll be getting a new book and a new story, so you'll be very excited. Now, bye-bye everybody, and please don't visit my YouTube. Bye-bye everybody, have a nice day. Bye!